Oh. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Satgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram Manojavam Marudatulyabegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayutamukyam Sri Ramadutam Sirasa Namami Santoshini Jaganmata Mama Saubhagyavriddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kridau Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punah Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaigamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Satchitanandarupaya Vishwotpatyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Neelam Bhujasyamalako Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Mahasayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Rakhuvam Sanatham Krishno Rakshatu Vam Charachara Guru Krishnam Namasye Sada Krishne Naiva Surakshito Hamasakrit Krishnaya Dattam Manaha Krishna Deva Samudbhavo Bhamavibho Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Bhakti Rajanjalastu Bhagavan He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha. Last dasakam concluded the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. As I was saying last time, that towards the end, Shuka Maharshi gives details of hell. There are about 28 different kind of hells are there. So when he heard the description, Parikshit Maharaj was really concerned. Then he asked Shuka Maharshi, what is that method by which one can avoid going to this horrible torture called hell? So initially he gave some suggestion that you should consult an astrologer, find out your Dashagati, and they will tell you these are the Prayachchitta karmas you should do. And if you do Prayachchitta karma, then you will be able to free from your sufferings. But then Parikshit said, human beings are such that he may do Prayachchitta karma, but then he will again commit the same mistake. So what is the permanent remedy for it? So that question is answered in the 6th canto. And Bhagavan gave him, Sukamarshi gave him the glory of Bhagavan Nama. So to indicate that, he gave the story of Ajamila. That is the Dasakam 22nd. Continue, you can start. Who is chanting today?
I'm chanting.
Okay.
Ajamilo nama mahisurah pura charan vibho dharma pathan grihashrami gurur gira kananametya drishtavan sudrushta shilam kulatam madakulam.
Hey Vibho, O Lord, all-powerful Lord, Pura, once upon a time, Mahisuraha Ajabilaha Nama. Mahisuraha means a Brahmana. And his name was Ajamila. Grihashrami Charan Dharmapathan. He was a householder and follower of righteous path. He was a Vaidika Brahmana, was following all the rituals, all the duties of a householder. He was a Dharmishta. He was following the righteous path. Etya Kananam Gira Guroho. So he has gone to the forest to collect the twigs for homa, dried twigs. So there what happened? Instructed by his father. Father sent him to collect that. So he went there. Drishtavan kulatam. Sudrishta shilam madakulam. He happened to meet an immoral woman, immodest by nature, and given to drinking, madakulam, sudrishta shilam, madakulam. But that should have stopped him there. But then he started thinking about her. Continuing.
Swatah prashantopi tada hritashayah swadharmamutsrijyataya samaraman adharmakari dashami bhavan punaha dadhau bhavan nama yute suteratim.
Swataha prashantaha api saha, that person, that Ajamila, though he is self-controlled and self-disciplined by nature, tadahridasheha, his mind was captivated by her beauty. Uttrisya swadharmam. Then as a result, he gave up his own duty as a householder. As a householder means he was married, he had children, etc. He was living with his mother, father. All those duties he forgot completely. Atharmakari samaramantaya. He led an unrighteous life. because he went and brought her home. And as a result, he had to throw this wedded wife and children on the road helplessly. And Adharmakari Samaramantaya led an unrighteous life, sporting with her. So this story is given in detail in Bhagavatam. So there it is said that this lady has got some bad habit like drinking and eating meat and all that. So this person used to go and get her whatever she needed. And he had money, some money was there, that was over. Then he started looting, cheating, all those kind of vices he developed. And they had 10 children. Punaha dashami bhavan. And then having become very old, Durdhoratim sute, Dardhoratim sute, Bhavannamayute. Because the last son was very young, he loved that last son very much. And he kept his name, Patadri here says, Bhavannama Yute. Your name, he kept. That is Narayana. He kept his name. Then what happened?
Samrityukale Yamaraja Kinkaran Bhayankaran Strin Abhilakshayan Bhiya Puramanatvat Smritivasana Balat Juhava Narayana Namakam Sutam.
Mrityukale Abhilakshayanna, at the time of death, seeing before him three Bhayankaran, Yamaraja Kinkaran, Sahabhiya. Three Bhayankaran, three fierce looking. The description of how they looked, etc., is given in detail in Bhagavatam. And Yamaraja Kinkaran, messengers of Yamaraj, when he saw them, he was in fear. Sahabhya, Juhava Sutam Narayana Nabakam. He called out his son's name, Narayana. Twasmriti Vasana Balat. Now Bhattadri says, this is because of his previous days as a Brahmana, as a Dharmic Brahmana, he was chanting Bhagavan's name. That also must have prompted him to remember Bhagavan. Because of the strength of Smriti Vasana Balat. So your Smriti, your remembrance, that has created a Vasana in his mind, subconscious. That must have prompted him to call out his son's name, Narayana. That is why we have in our Hindu culture, we have this tradition of keeping our children's name, Bhagavan's name. And that Bhagavan's name, you should keep it as it is. Don't shorten it. Don't twist it. Like Chandrasekhara, Chandru, Padmanabha, Pappu, that kind of thing. Don't do that. Vishwanatha, Vish. No, Vishwanatha, I don't say. It's a beautiful name. The remembrance of Lord. Now, he saw, in fear, he chanted Bhagavan's name. Tos Nritivasana Balat Manat Pura. However, slightly in the distant past. So in the distant past, he was very devoted. That phalam must have come to him. That's why he remembered Bhagavan's name, even though it was in the form of his son's name. Continue.
दुराशयस्यापि तदात्वनिर्गत त्वदीयनामाक्षरमात्रवैभवात् पुरोभिपेतुर्भवदीयपार्षदाः चतुर्भुजाः पीतपटा मनोरमाः.
Manoharaha. Durashayasya api. In spite of being evil-minded, apiphetuhu puraha. There appeared immediately before him Bhavatiya Parshadaha Chadurbujaha Pitapataha Manoharaha. Your emissaries, endowed with 4 arms, clad in yellow robes and captivating to the mind. Tadatva nirgatatvadiya namakshara matra vaibhavat. Solely because of the glory of the name, your name, which emerged at that time from him. So because you uttered the name of Narayana, this Yamadudas came to take this Jajamila's soul, but because of the power of the name, Vishnu Parshadas came. Then what happened?
अमुञ्च सम्पाश्य विकर्षतो भटान् विमुञ्चते त्यारुरुधुर्बलादमी निवारितास्ते च भवजैश्च नैस्तदा तदीयपापं निखिलन्यवेदयन्.
So, Ami Aruruthuhu Balat. They, your attendants, forcefully stopped. Badan Sampashyacha Vikarshataha. Those Yamadutas were tying with ropes and dragging away Ajamila's soul. Amam Vimunchata iti. And these Yamadutas were tying his soul and taking him away to Yamaloka. And this Vishnu Parshadas came and stopped them and said, Amam Vimunchata iti. And please release him. Tata techa divaritaha. Then they who were obstructed, Bhajanjanehi Nevedayan, by your people narrated, Nikhilam Tatiya Papam, all his sinful actions. So there is a big conversation in Bhagavatam between this Yamadutas and Vishnu Parshadas. Vishnu Parshadas asked, why are you taking his soul? Then they give a list of his sins. And they said, how do you know this? No. How do you know this person has done all this? Then they gave witnesses for it. Okay. Oh, it is the witnesses are Vayu Bhagavan. Because Vayu Bhagavan has to be there. Unless you breathe, you can't commit a sin. Bank robber also has to breathe. Even though he cover his face, still he has to breathe. So Vayu Bhagavan, then Surya Bhagavan, Chandra Bhagavan, then Agni, all those things, those Panchabhutas are the Sakshis. And they said, they listed the whole this thing. So he's destined to go to hell. He has to go through hell. And when the Vrishabhasada heard, then they said, next one.
Bhavantu papani kathantu nishkrute krute pibho dandanamasti panditaha na nishkriti kim vidita bhavadrusham iti prabho tvat purusha babhashire.
Bho pandidaha papani bhavantu. See, Bhattadri says, the way he narrates the story also very beautiful. Bho pandidaha papani bhavantu. O learned ones, papani bhavantu, let there be sins. Katham tu dandanam asti. Niskrite krite api. Niskrite krite api. Katham tu dandanam asti. So, when atonement has been already made, how can there be punishment? That is his point. Bhavadrisham niskritihi na vidita kim. To a person like you, is atonement not known? Now the Yamadutas were thinking what atonement he has done. He has done papas, he has not any atonement. We don't see any prayachitta karma he has performed. What atonement he has done? But Vishnu Bhasha says he has already atoned his sin. What is that? Oh, thus, oh all-powerful Idihe Prabho, Tat Purushaha, Babashire, all-powerful Lord, your emissaries, they speak. Then, continuing.
Shruti smritibhyam vihita vratadayaha punanti papam na lunanti vasanam ananta sevatu nikruntati dvayim iti prabho tvat purusha babhashire.
Vratadeha vihitaha, vows and the like prescribed. Shruti smritibhyam punanti papam. By scripture, Shruti and Smritis do clean sins. Vratams, different kinds of vratam, Ekadasi vratam, Sivaratri vratam, Monday vratam, etc. There are different vratams are there. These vratams are capable of purifying oneself. Which says the Shrutis and Smritis, Te na lunanti vasana. It only removes the sin, but it doesn't remove the sinner. These vasanas, the innate vasanas will not go. It is something like kumbhasara, the confession. Confession, after going through confession, they feel they are purified. But next Monday onwards, they continue to do the same thing. So the sin is gone, but not the sinner. It doesn't destroy the tendency to commit sin. That sinner, Ananda Sevatu Nikrantati Dvayi. Service of Lord Vishnu, however, destroys that sinner. So service to Mahatmas, great Purushas, and Bhagavan and Janaseva. Janaseva is Janardana Seva. So seeing Bhagavan in everyone and serving them, that alone destroys. Narkantati Dvayim iti he Prabho, thus all-powerful Lord, Tat Purushaha Babashire, your emissaries spoke to Yamadutas. Continuing.
अनेन भो जन्म सहस्र कोटिभिः कृतेषु पापेष्वपि निष्कृतिः कृता यदग्रही नाम भयाकुलो हरेः इति प्रभो त्वत्पुरुषा बभाषिरे.
Oh, I am, O messengers of Yama, this man, Bhayakulaha Agrahit Nama Harehe, overcome with fear, uttered the name of Sri Hari. Itiyat Niskritihi Krita, because of which atonement has been made. Papeshu api kriteshu anena janma sahasra kodipihi. Also for sins committed by him during innumerable number of lives in the past. It is not only Christ died on the cross for our sins. Our Lord also accept anybody, he says, even millions of life sins, he atones, he forgives. So there is a joke, one person went to heaven and he met Bhagavan. And he said, Bhagavan, I never made any mistake in my life. I was living perfectly, following all dharmas to the letter. The Bhagavan asked, why did you not? Why did you not make a mistake? Why, Bhagavan? That is your instruction, that is your rule, that is your law. No, if you don't mistake, how will I get a chance to forgive you? So you deny the chance of forgiving you. So Bhagavan, give one or two mistakes you make, get some tickets and all that, driving time. Then they won't send you back from heaven. So, Idi he Prabho, thus, O Lord, Tat Purushaha, Babashide, your emissaries to speak. In Bhagavatam, Stenaha, Surapaha, Mitraduk, Brahmaha, Guru Talpagaha, Stri Rajaguru Kohanta, Yecha Patakino Apare, Sarvesham Apyakavatam Idameva Sunishkritam, Nama Vyaharanam Vishnoho, Yatastat Vishaya Matihi. Utterance of Lord's name was the only sure atonement for the sins of all classes of sinners. Be he a thief, a drunkard, one guilty of treachery to a friend, a murderer, one sharing the bed of his guru's wife, a slayer of women, a king, one's own parent, or a cow. Such heinous sin a person committed, even then his sins will be atoned, his papa will be cleaned by uttering Bhagavan's name. In Mahabharatam, you see, at the end of it, even Dhritarashtra gets salvation. Dhritarashtra was the person who could have avoided the war, but he was instrumental in the bloodshed of the whole Bharatavamsha. So that person also got salvation means Bhagavan's power of name. You should understand that, and we take it very lightly. But that is not so. It is so beautiful. Simple remedy is given, we doubt its efficacy. Continuing.
नृणाम बुद्ध्यापि मुकुन्द कीर्तनं दहत्यघौघान् महिमास्य तादृशः यथाग्निरेधांसि यथौषधं गदान् इति प्रभो त्वत्पुरुषा बभाषिरे
Yatha agnihi edhamsi dahati. Just as fire burns fuel, yatha aushatam gadan. Like the medicine destroys diseases. See, you need not know the ingredients, but still you swallow the medicine, it cures your disease. The same way, you don't have to know the significance. What is the meaning of the mantra and all is not necessary. Just chant Bhagavan's name. The power of that mantra will destroy the sins. Tada Mukunda Kirtanam. The same way, chanting the name of Mukunda. Mukunda means the one who is capable of giving you moksha. Kritam abudhya api dahati. Then even if without conscious awareness burns out. Without your knowing. So this Nama Mahima is wonderful. In Ramcharithamanasam, Tulsidas ji gives Rama Nama is great or Rama is great. There is a Namayana he has given. And he proves that Nama is greater than Bhagavan himself. He gives reasons also. See, when Bhagavan took avatar, he was there only certain particular time. That is in Treta Yuga. During certain time, he appeared and disappeared. But taking Bhagavan's name, at that time when he was present, people were around him, happened to see him, contact with him, they also got moksha. But after him, in Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, how many people taking his name itself got moksha? There are great Mahatmas. They chant only Ramanam and attain mukti. Plus, Nama has got power. You call your name, somebody call your name, what happened? You immediately get up and go, isn't it? So Nama has got that power to attract the Lord. So the Akhaukhan Rinam, even ocean of sins he has committed. Human beings have committed ocean of sins. But the simple remedy is chant Bhagavan's name. Mahima asya tadrishaha. The glory of that chanting the Lord's name is such. Iti he Prabho. Thus all-powerful Lord. Tat Purushaha Babashire. Your emissaries did speak. Continuing.
इति ऋते याम्य भटैरपाश्रिते भवद्भटानां च गणे तिरोहिते भवत्स्मृतिं कञ्चन कालमाचरन् भवत्पदं प्रापि भवद्भटैरसौ.
When the Yamadutas heard this logical argument from Vishnu Dutas, they had no choice. They had to leave his soul there and go. And all this conversation lying down in the deathbed, this Ajamila is hearing. Okay. And it is said at that time he was 80-year-old. And when he heard this, that I uttered Bhagavan's name, not consciously thinking about Lord, thinking about my son. Even then I got this gift of life. So he got up and went away from his home and went to Himalayas and then chanted, read Bhagavan's Dashamaskanda. So Bhagavatam Dashamaskanda, Krishna Leela, Krishna Avatar. He read and attained mukti. That is what is told here. Yamya bhadaihi iti iritehe. The messengers of Yama who are thus told, apasrite, having retreated, and bhavat bhadanam gane, the group of your emissaries, cha tirohite asau, also having disappeared, he Ajamila acharan bhavasmritim, living a devout life, remembering and worshipping you, kanchana kalam, for some more time, prapi bhavat padam, was taken to your abode, bhavat bhadaihi, by your own emissaries. Continuing.
स्वकिङ्करा वेदन शङ्कितो यमः त्वदङ्घ्रिभक्तेषु न गम्यतामिति स्वकीयभृत्या न शिशिक्षदुच्चकैः सदेव वातालयनाथ पाहि माम्.
So what happened in the meantime, the Yamadutas went and complained to Yamaraj. And they said, how many Yamas are there in this world? Then I am the only one. But how come we were stopped? It looks like somebody more powerful than you is there. Then he asked what happened. And they narrated the story. This is what happened. This person uttered Narayana name. Suddenly Vishnu Dutas came and stopped us to taking the souls. Then Yamaraj said, so Kinkara Vedana Shankitaha, being alarmed by the reports of his own messengers. See all that story, how briefly he said, just in one line. That is the beauty of Bhattari. Yamaha Uchchagaihi Ashashichad. Yama strictly instructed, Sukhiya Bhritya Nagamyatam Tudangri Bhakteshu iti. He instructed all his messengers, Yamadutas, that people, devotees who are devoted to Bhagavan Narayana, never go near them. So now you know. Keep on chanting Bhagavan's name. They will, Yamadutas never come. The Vishnu Dutas will come and take you. So those people who are devoted to Bhagavan Narayana, never go near them. Hey Deva, Vatalaya Natha, O Lord of Guruvayur, Tum Saha Pahima. You who are of such nature, please protect me. With that dasakam is over. Prahlad, the Ajamila Upakhyanam is over. Now in the 23rd dasakam, 2-3 stories are packed here. One is stories of Daksha Prajapati, Chitraketu, Vrtrasura, and creation of Marut. These are all big, big stories. This is the 6th skanda, and chapters 4 to 90. The stories come. So we must have, you must be remembering Prachetas, Prajina Barhi, Prachetas story. They went to do tapas, and then Bhagavan Shivji gave a stuti. And they did tapas, and they got, Bhagavan appeared and gave them blessings. And when they saw the whole world is burned, filled with the trees, the forest is taken over the whole world. So they started looking at it because of their tapas. Everything started burning. Then Vanadevada came and gave them the 10 of them. The Prachetas were 10 of them. They were all called same name. And they were given a wife. And in that wife, they got a son whose name was Daksha. Now this Daksha Prajapati story is being told here.
प्राचेतसस्तु भगवन्न परो हि दक्षः त्वत्सेवनं व्यधित सर्ग विवृद्धिकामः आविर्बभूविथ तदालसदष्टबाहुः तस्मै वरं दधिततां च वधूमसिक्नीम्.
Hey Bhagavan, O Lord, Aparaha Dakshaha Prachetasaha tu, another Daksha. It is not that Daksha Prajapati. This Daksha Prajapati. This is another Daksha. The son of the Prachetas. On his part, Sarga Vivruddhi Kamaha he. Being desirous of multiplying the species, Vyatita Totsevanam, took to your worship. Tada Tvam Avir Bhabuvitha. At that time, you did manifest yourself before him. In our Puranas, there is a beautiful thing that you see. All men, whether they are Raja, Rajakumara, before getting married, they do severe tapas. For what? Getting a noble wife. Nowadays, nobody does that, I think. So here also you see that Daksha Prajapati did Ghora tapas, propitiated Bhagavan, and Bhagavan appeared before him. Lasa Drishta Bahuhu, resplendent with 8 arms. Dathitha Tasmai Varam, bestow on him a boon. Tam Asiknim Vadhuva, and also the young lady by name Asikni for wife. It was Bhagavan's blessing that he got a wife called Asikni. Then continue.
तस्यात्मजास्त्वयुतमीश पुनः सहस्रम् श्रीनारदस्य वचसा तव मार्गमापुः नैकत्र वा समृषये समुमोच शापम् भक्तोत्तमस्त्व ऋषिरनुग्रहमेव मेने.
Hey Isha, O Lord, Tasya Atmajaha tu, his sons indeed, Ayutam Punaha Sahasram, First he Ayutam Punaha Sahasra. First he had 10,000 children. You see, those days. But 10,000 children, they were also, as usual, following the father. They want to do tapas before getting married. So they were all sent to do tapas. On the way, Narada met them and he gave a riddle to them. In such a way, when they solved the riddle, those riddles are all given in Bhagavad. Those riddles, when they resolve, they become enlightened. And as a result, all of them become sannyasis. They didn't go back. Then the father was waiting for the children to come back, never came back. Then second lot, he created 1,000 children. They also went to do tapas. Same thing happened. Narada met, we converted them, sannyasis, sadhus. Apuhu tava margam, took to your path. Vachasa Sri Naradasya, on the advice of Sri Narada, sa mumocha shapam. When he heard this, Daksha Prajapati heard this, he got so angry with Narada, he gave him shapam, curse. Rishayecha ekastravasam. No permanent stay at any one place. That was the shapam given to Narada. Rishihi tu bhaktottamaha. And the sage, however, being the foremost of your devotees, mene eva anugraham. Even the curse, he considered it is a blessing. So I can travel everywhere. I can convert more people. That is what he thought. Continuing.
Shashtya tato duhitrubhisrujatah kulaughan dauhitra sunu rathatasya savishvarupaha tvatstotra varmita majapayadindramajau devatvadiya mahima khalu sarvajaitraha.
So when the 1,000 children also gone to tapas, not come back, he cursed Narada, and the third time he created girls now, because he knows when it is girls, Narada will not come near. He is a brahmachari. So, and how many he created, that is not told here. So, that, so he, out of that, one girl was given to Tarksha. 10 Dharmaraj, 13 Kashyapa Prajapati, 27 to Moon. Then Bhutas, 2 Angiras, 2 Kushaswa, 4 Kashyapa again, Tarksha. So Tarksha was given. And that Tarksha got a son whose name was Vishwarupa. Tatassa Vishwarupaha. Okay. You read this third one?
Yes, Swami.
Okay. Tataha asa Vishwarupaha. Thereafter, the person known as Vishwarupa, Dauhitra Sunuhu Tasya, the great grandson, daughter's son's son of Daksha. Srijadaha Kulau Khan, who Daksha was propagating the generation of species. Shashtya Duhritipihi Atha, through his 60 daughters. So, third time, he created 60 daughters. And they were married in this manner, 10 to Dharma, 13 to Kashyapa, 27 to Moon, like that. So, there is a order. Now, Indram Ajapayat Ajau, made Indra win in battle between Devas and Asuras. That Sotravarmitam, being protected by the armor of a hymn devoted to you. This is called Narayana Kavacham. Now I have to tell you the background story, otherwise you will not understand what Bhattadari is saying. One day, Indra was sitting in his court, enjoying the dance and music and celestial drinks. Intoxicated, he was sitting there, proud with his power and luxury. At that time, his guru came to see him. Even though Indra saw the guru coming, but he did not show any respect. He ignored him totally. Seeing that what Guru did, he did not say anything. He just disappeared. Suddenly, when Guru disappeared, Indra was alarmed. He went in search of him everywhere. He could not find him. Then the Asuras came to know that Indraloka has no Guru. Actually, Asuras were very devoted to their Guru, Shukracharya. And with the power of Shukracharya, these people attacked heaven and defeated this Indra and ousted him from the heaven. Now Indra, whenever he is in trouble, he makes mistake, but then he is in trouble, he goes to Bhagavan. Bhagavan Brahmaji said, you don't have a guru, you don't know the glory of your guru. His protection is gone. That is the reason why you are defeated. Therefore, you should have a guru. So they asked, who will be the best person? He said, Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is the Toshta's son. That's why the Daksha Prajapati's grandson, daughter's son. So this Vishwarupa had 3 heads, actually. 3 heads. And he was appointed as Guru by the Devatas. And he taught Indra Narayana Kavacham. This Narayana Kavacham is there in Bhagavatam, 6th canto. And he chanted that, protected by Narayana Kavacham, he again attacked Asuras and he won the battle. He Devaha, Tutiya Mahima, O Lord, your greatness, Khalu, Sarva Jaitraha, is indeed capable of conquering all. Continuing.
प्राक्षूरसेन विषये किल चित्रकेतुः पुत्राग्रही नृपतिरङ्गिरसः प्रभावात् लब्धैकपुत्रमथ तत्र हते सपत्नी सङ्घैरमुह्यदवशस्तव माययासौ.
Now, this also, you have to know the connection, otherwise you will not appreciate what happened. Suddenly, Chitraketu comes, Surasena comes. You don't know what it is. So, then what happened? This Vishwarupa, the priest, I mean the guru of Devatas, Indra saw he is performing rituals. With one mouth, he was offering in favor of Devatas. And other mouth, he was offering in favor of Asuras. So he had little soft corner to Asuras. So when Indra saw that this is treachery, he is our guru and he is offering to Asuras, then he got so angry, he took his sword and cut off his head. And that is Brahmahatya Papam. And Brahmahatya Papam he had, and it was so difficult for him to get rid of. And he distributed that Papam through to 4 different people and got rid of it. And then again, he was without a guru. But then, in the meantime, what happened? His father, Vishwarupa's father, Toshta, he got angry. How dare Indra kill my son? And he performed a propitiated Bhagavan, a tantric yajna. And out of that yajna came an asura called Vritrasura. And when he was so anxious when we are performing this yajna, what happened? He wanted a person to kill Indra. But in his anxiety, he pronounced wrongly. So what happened? He got a son who was killed by Indra. So this is the problem when you don't pronounce Vedic mantras properly. Ulta, totally opposite meaning will come. We have to be careful. So that is the story. Now the Vritrasura. Now Vritrasura came to the battlefield and he face to face with Indra. And he was challenging him, why don't you kill me? Then he said, I want to reach the feet of my Lord soon. I don't want to be in this body. So help me to get rid of this body. Fight with me. And seeing the devotion of Vritrasura, this Indra was confused. And he asked, what is his past? How did he get this devotion? From where did he get the devotion? So that story is what is told here. This Vritrasura's flashback. What is that? Prak Surasena Vishaye. Long ago in the kingdom of Surasena, Nrupatihi Chitraketuhu, a king called Chitraketu, Asid Putragrahi Kila, was desirous of getting a son, it is said. So he had 60,000 wives, Chitraketu. And all of them, they were barren, so don't have children. So the king was worried, after me, who will take charge of the kingdom? Then he approached his guru, Angiras. Here, Bhattadri says, Labdva ekaputram prabhavat Angirasaha. And with the blessings of sage Angiras, he got a child. Atha tatra hate sapatni sanghai. And this children, once after a long time, he got a child. King was so happy that the queen, the eldest among the harem, what happened? He got so attached to the queen, and he was always in her house, in her palace, never came out, because attending the fondling the child, taking care of the child, etc. Because of the overwhelmed joy. This, the other wives didn't like it. They thought that the king has totally neglected us. We are treated like servants. How come that lady gets so much of power and importance? And she is looking down upon us. All this. Now you see the original story, what you get in the movies and all that. You see here, original story. And they all together decided to poison the child. The child was only 8 months old. And they poisoned the child. And the queen went to lift the child. The child was all blue. And she understood the child is gone. And she started crying. The king also came. He also saw the condition. He also started crying. That's what his Patadri said. Atha tatra hate sapatni sanghaihi. When the child was killed by the host of his co-wives, avashaha asau amuhyate. Being overcome by grief, he fainted. Tava maya, on account of your maya. Then what happens?
Tannaradastu samamangirasadhayaluhu samprapya tavadupadarshya sutasya jivam kasyasmi putra iti tasya gira vimoham tyaktva tvadarchana vidhau nripatinyayukta.
Then Angiras and Narada, both of them came and advised him that Putra Shoka, in your horoscope, there is no fate that you have children. And with the blessings of Guru, you got one. This is your fate, you accept it. But when a person is sorrowful at that time, talking Vedanta will not work. They will not accept it. Then Narada, with his yogic power, invoked that soul, the child soul. And the soul appeared there. And Narada said, please enter your body and enjoy the Samardham Rajam, Ruddham Rajam, Samardham Rajam, prosperous kingdom. Enjoy, become the king and rule the world for so many years. And that child said, and make your parents, Narada said, make your parents happy. And the child said, What parent? I have gone through many lives. I had many parents. Now, which parents you are talking about? And I am finally relieved from the body. I am now happy. Why do you want me to go back and suffer? That is what is told here. Okay. Naradaha Dayaluhu too, sage Narada, compassionate that he was. Samprapyatam samam Angirasaha, having gone to him, along with sage Angiras, Tavat Upadarshya Sutasya Jivam, and then shown his own son's Jivatma, Neyungta Nripatim Tadarchana Vidhau. And when the child said that, I have gone through many lives and I am not interested in coming back to this body, the father Chitraketu understood there is no point insisting that child. So he became Vairagi, totally detached. And Narada directed the king to the path of your worship. Tektva stitam vimoham, after his shedding off all delusion. Tasya gira iti, on hearing his son's voice as asking, Kasya putraha asmi, whose son I am? Okay, we'll complete this story. Okay. We got time up. One more, not two more. Is it okay? I'll continue. All right. Okay, continue.
स्तोत्रं च मन्त्रमपि नारदथो लब्ध्वा तोषाय शेषवपुषो ननुते तपस्यन् विद्याधराधिपतितां स हि सप्तरात्रे लब्ध्वाप्यकुण्ठमतिरन्वभजद्भवन्तम्.
Atha sahahi labdva. Then he, Chitraketu, having received knowledge of Stotram cha mantram api naradaha tapasyan, the hymn as well as the mantra from Sri Sage Narada, and practicing austerities, doshayate sheshavapushaha, for propitiating you in the form of Adishesha, api labdva saptaraptre, and he attained the darshanam of Adishesha in 7 days' time. See, that intense was his tapas. Then Vidyadharadipatitam Annabhajat Bhavantam Tanu Akundhamatihi. So Bhagavan appeared before him in the form of Adishesha, that he will tell next verse, and blessed him and given him the position of the head of Vidyadharas. And even in that body also he continued to worship the Lord. Continue. Next one.
तस्मै मृणालधवलेन सहस्रशीर्ष्णा रूपेण बद्धनुतिसिद्धगणावृतेन प्रादुर्भवन्न चिरतो नुतिभिः प्रसन्नो दत्त्वात्मतत्त्वमनुगृह्य तिरोदधाथ.
Tvam pradurbhavan tasmai, you manifesting yourself to him. Achirataha rupena, without any delay, in a form endowed with Sahasrashirshna Mranalathavalena, 1,000 hoods and the whiteness of a lotus stalk. Baddha nuti siddha ganavritena prasanna. Prasannaha nutibihi, surrounded by bands of siddhas. singing your praise and having been pleased with his hymns, Dattva Atmatattvam Anugrihya, imparting self-knowledge and blessing him, Tirodhadatha, disappeared. Continue.
त्वद्भक्तमौलिरथसोऽपि च लक्षलक्षम् वर्षाणि हर्षुलमना भुवनेषु कामम् सङ्गापयन् गुणगणं तव सुन्दरीभिः सङ्गातिरेकरहितो ललितं चचार.
Athasaha Tvat Maulihi, thereafter he, the foremost among your devotees, Apicha Sundaribihi, indeed making those celestial damsels, Sangapayan Lalitam Tava Gunaganam, sing melodiously your innumerable virtues, Sangadi Reha Hidaha, being free from excessive attachment to sensual pleasures, Arshulamanaha, and with a happy and cheerful disposition, Chachara Kamam Bhuvaneshu, moved about freely in the world, Laksha Laksham Varshani, for several millions of years. Now, then what happened? Why did he become an Asura? This is the point. Next one.
अत्यंत संग विलयाय भवत् प्रणुन्नो नूनं सरूप्य गिरिमाप्य महत् समाजे निःशङ्कमङ्क कृतवल्लभमङ्गजारिं तं शङ्करं परिहसन्नु मयाभिषेपे.
And as he was traveling, Saha Noonam Bhavat Pranunnataha, Chitraketu, certainly being prompted by you, Atyanda Sangha Vilayaya, for the total eradication of sensual attachment. Apya Rupya Girim, on reaching the silver mountain Kailasa, Apishepe Umaya Parihasanna. When he was traveling in the air over Kailas, he happened to see Bhagavan Shiva. It's seated in Padmasanam. And he is giving teaching to Sanat Kumaras. And on his lap, Parvati was sitting. And this, when he saw, Chitraketu laughed. Not only laughed, he made a comment also. Oh Lord Shiva, you are supposed to be the guru of the whole world. You should set an example. If you want to have any romance with your wife, you should be discreet, not in public. Like this, he made a comment. And Bhagavan did not say anything, but Uma Parvati did not keep quiet. She got angry. How dare you teach Dharma to my husband? Who are you? He said, this thought has come to you because of Rakshasa Vritti. May you become a Rakshasa. So that is what is told here. Atyanda Sangha Vilaya. Now, the reason why Chitraketu laughed, that is not told in Bhagavatam. But here Bhattadri gives a reason. He says, it is Bhagavan's prompting only. Why? Because this person has got this attachment to sense pleasure, even though he is in the Devata form. Still, he has not given up the attachment. So he wanted to remove that also from him. That is why he got cursed. So, Abhishepe Umaya Parihasan. was duly accursed by goddess Uma on his mocking. Tam Shankaram Angajarim, at Lord Shiva, the destroyer of Kamadeva, Angakrita Vallabham, who had seated his consort called Uma, goddess Uma, on his lap. Mahassamaje Nissangam, in the assembly of great sages, without any hesitation. Bhagavan has no difference that he is my wife, he is not my wife, etc. That difference is not there. That oneness, Bhagavan is one with everybody. So there is no distinction, but that he didn't understand. Then what is the reaction of Chitraketu? The next verse. Okay.
Nissambhamastvayamaya shapamoksho vritrasuratvamupagamya surendra-yodhi bhaktyaatmatattva-kathanai samare vichitram shatrorapi bhramamapasya gatah padante.
Ayam tu Nissabhramaha. Even after receiving the curse, Chitraketu was not perturbed. Ayachita Shapa Mokshaha, and without even asking for the deliverance, Shapa Moksha also he did not ask. Upagamya Vritrasuratvam, assuming the form of Vritrasura, Surendra Yodhi Apasya Brahmam, the combatant of Indra, and removing the delusion, Apishatroho Samare Bhaktya, of even his enemy during battle by his devotion, Atma Tattva Kathanehi, and by imparting knowledge of the self, Yataha Te Padam Vichitram, attain your abode. What a wonder. So this Vritrasura only, Indra didn't know how to kill. He was terrorized because of the very size. His body itself threatened the Devatas. So he went and asked Bhagavan Vishnu, and Bhagavan Vishnu advised, you go to Datiji Rishi, and out of his bone, if you make a Ayutha, that will kill Vritrasura. That is how Vajrayudha came. Now here we stop today. The next story is another story. The birth of the Maruts, 44 Marut. I need to give you some background for that. So I'll tell you next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.